Good evening, everyone. Well, I'm back again. I finished up the hair work on the clown, and then I went back and actually did a little airbrush in white to touch that up, and then of course sealed it back with perma-wet. So basically, yes, this is the finished mask. As finished as it'll be. I did trim up the hair some, and of course shook all the excess out. I did all of that after peeling it off the armature. You just simply peel it off backwards. If you perma-wetted it, you shouldn't have to worry about any of this sticking to itself. And the only place you'd really have to worry about that maybe would be on the interior of it as you're peeling it off. But that doesn't generally happen. Once you get it off completely, though, definitely go ahead and baby powder it. That way it ensures it's not going to stick, and it'll slide on your head nice and easy. Otherwise, as I said, I trimmed up the hair a little bit, shook it out. I got the majority of the loose ones out. I have not trimmed it up yet, so meaning I haven't trimmed out the eyes or the mouth, and I've still got a little what I call flash along the bottom. I thought I would do that with you guys watching, but in essence, this is a finished mask. So Chrissy will hopefully see you tomorrow, and if you see this before then, and I don't really know if you plan on wearing it or if someone you know, but I just trim about a 1/4 inch into the mask, rubber so to speak. That way it ensures a nice edge on it. I realize that last video was quite long, but I can also say that hair laying is not a quick thing. You definitely have to have patience to do hair work. I think as I demonstrated where it was sticking to my fingers in some cases, even with the gloves, it's like spider webs. After all, every good monster is hairy at some point. If it's not but the hair on their head. So yeah, I'm just trimming the excess pantyhose off of it to where it has more of a smooth edge that still appears as it did on the armature. Really, I would have filmed me taking it off the armature and stuff, but my phone was dead, so rather than waste time, I went ahead and peeled it off while my phone was charging and took care of some other. Like a little bit of airbrush and perma-wet on the top. Okay, so that's the flash, or that's what I call it. So now it's got a nice smooth edge along the bottom, like you would expect to see on a mask. And now I'm going to work on the trimming out the face. Notice I've got the small cuticle style scissors, and I'm going to go right in there, the edge edge of the mouth and just cut right along the lip line. So now that that's trimmed out, sometimes you want to kind of look inside, make sure that you don't have any things that are going to kind of stick up. Because like if you notice here, just inside the lip of the clown, there's a little bit of excess latex I want to take out, because I know that it won't, if I leave it, it won't be comfortable when you put it on. So there you go. Just any little protrusion that might be there, because I mean you do have little spaces in the armature, like right up in the eyes, right up in the very corners of the mouth, that winds up being a negative, so to speak. It's got a place that would stick out inside the mask and thus be uncomfortable. So yeah, feel free to trim all those out, and once you've got everything trimmed out, here in a moment I'm going to take and touch up the edges in the paint. Okay, so I'm pleased with the mouth, and I'm going to move on to the eyes. Sometimes you do have to, I won't say you have to, but it helps if you trim from the inside. Because I realize this particular eye has a bit of a bubble of latex in the corner that I can imagine would be uncomfortable. So just trim that right out. It's not a big deal. Okay. And I'm pleased with the, well, relatively, there's one little more bump on, just hung down, so to speak. I'm pleased with the left eye. It's cut out. And I'm going to move on to the right eye. I really am giving a lot more thought to the GoPro though, because I realize if I was wearing that on my head and could thus position it more in tune with what I see, that this might be a little bit more of an educational process. Because I realize that in some cases I can't do it and show you at the same time. Without having a camera strapped to my head. Okay. And I'm pretty pleased with the right eye. Alright, now I'm going to take and get a little bit of black, because I did put some black shading around the, well, in the eye sockets, so to speak. And I'm just going to take and complete that. Actually, no, look, I think I want to take a little bit out right. Okay, and I'm going to take and put a little bit of black in this cup, just so I can get a little bit on my Q-tip here. And the really key important part to sealing up a mask, the final bit of touch-up around the mouth and the eyes after you've trimmed it and it's pretty much ready to wear. And no, I will not be putting this on because I don't want black paint on my face. After all, it's not my mask either. But when you are applying this, you're not painting the lips. You're basically sticking, if there's black paint on that Q-tip, I'm sticking it all the way inside and then just touching the bare edge of the latex that can be seen. It's yellow-ish. And just touch it on the inside. Not so much any bit of the outside. Now I know at the corners of the mouth some of that can't be helped, but I mean that won't so much matter in the grand scheme of things when the individual is wearing the mask and you're looking for the shadowing, especially if it's under any form of light. But that way it seals up that little edge in there, and I'm just going to get a little bit more and put it right on the inside of the eye socket in the same way. A little bit on my finger. I touched it a little bit. Okay, in essence, there you have it. A finished clown mask. Eyes are trimmed out completely, and of course the mouth also is trimmed out. And if you put it on, but like I said, that little bit of black I just applied would be on my face. But yeah, it moves when you speak and all that good stuff. But it's just that easy if you've watched the the videos. I realize that this process can be a little lengthy, but that's the process I use to make a clown, at least, for those that don't sculpt. So otherwise, Chrissy, I hope you enjoy this, and I look forward to meeting you tomorrow. To the rest of you, get your stuff together and go make stuff.